Tell me a bit about yourself and, your profession, just in a few sentences.
Yeah, so I'm Paul. I'm a dad, a recent dad. I have a 6 months baby, a husband. I've been married for 4 years, 5 years, sorry, 5 years.
Oh.
Yeah, starting to count, going to the sixth one. And I'm a triplet. I'm a son and a triplet. I have a brother and a sister who are born literally the same day as I am. So that's me, like on a personal aspect. And in terms of work, I'm working at Doctolib. I'm a talent acquisition manager, or more specifically, talent sourcer manager. I have a team of 9 people that I manage across 3 different countries, and I'm working for Doctolib, French startup. Not a startup anymore, it's like tech
Awesome.
company, French tech company.
Awesome. And so, yeah, tell me, what was your life like before you started working with me?
Well, it was a year and a half ago. My life was a bit chaotic because I was angry about so many stuff around me. I was constantly dissatisfied with basically the state of my life. I was asking myself question if I should quit on my role. And I booked my first session with you to discuss about what kind of company I should join. And I was also thinking of, I've had relationship problems. So I was thinking of maybe breaking up with my wife after basically 4 years of wedding and 10 years of relationship. I was also almost, I came back from London and I had a very strange feeling on settling in France. I was very unhappy with France and with the place where I was living. So I was just constantly a bit unhappy. And I feel I was making life harder for people around me because of this. I was constantly challenging my manager, constantly challenging my wife. I feel like I felt like I was a bit wrong deep down, but I didn't know what to change really because I wanted to change everything.
I get that. Thanks for sharing. And so what were some of your biggest fears and biggest doubts at the time?
Well, I had lots of fears and doubts. The main one was probably that I was afraid to not being happy. And yeah, I was very afraid to not being happy and to regret things in my life, like to look back when I would be older and to think, oh shit, I made all those terrible choices and right now it's a mess. Like this is not the life I was expected to live. So this was the biggest one. And then I had other probably fear that were coupled to that in terms of that I discovered with you probably in the future, but people pleasing was a massive one. But mainly I was afraid to not be happy. I was afraid to miss on my life.
I get that. And so where are you now? How has your life changed since we worked together?
Well, it changed a lot because, like, obviously I had a baby in the process. But yeah, so many things changed. And I think like really gradually, because we worked twice together and the first 3 months that you spent together, like just helped me to settle down on so many things in my life, to understand that like I had expectation for everyone around me, and even for me, and that was very difficult to live with that. And so I feel like the first phase that we had together and how I changed was to be happy with myself and to be happy with my situation. And that changed a lot because I learned a lot about myself. Probably like the first phase was learning a lot about myself. I discovered my value. I discovered that I have needs. I didn't know that I had needs. And so I learned tons about myself, and I learned to feel confident with who I am and my setup. So that probably was the first phase, and it changed me a lot. And people around me saw the effects. I saw the effect massively because I was conscious of it, but also people were literally asking me what changed. Like, you have changed so much, but what's happened? And the second batch of working that we did together helped me to realize more deep down things, in terms of how some of my habits and behavior were linked to my childhood and how I've been built and how I've been raised and how I can probably fight that back to have myself being a human that I've built instead of who I've been raised. And that's impacts very positively my relationship with my wife, my parenthood as well, because like I knew some of those things would came up when I would become a parent, and I reached out to you when I was on my way to become a father. So yeah, so many things changed. Like it's very difficult to pinpoint it in one big sentence or one big catchphrase. But overall, I feel like I'm happier, and I know why. And that's probably the biggest take. Like when I feel down, I know why, and I'm not afraid of feeling down or feeling bad. And then when happy, I also know why, and I know how to sustain that. So I feel more empowered. I feel more, I feel more empowered. I feel more able to have control over my life.
That's amazing. I love that. And so what would you tell someone who's maybe hesitating about investing in coaching with me?
Well, I've told so many people that that's the best investment I ever did in my life, because you work on you, and you are such a good supporter. You're such a good person that helps you along the process. And it's the session, it's the books, it's the homework that I have to do, it's the constant support and feeling that you're here, that make it possible. But investing in yourself has no price, because being happy has no price. So I would say that like your mental health, you always see this kind of catchphrase on LinkedIn or on the website. You just like, your mental health has no price. But for so many people, it has a price. Like it's the price of coaching or the price of seeing a therapist. So I understand the hesitation for so many people, because it's not easy. But like if I had to do it, I would do it again and again, and I always recommend people doing it. So yeah, I would say just try. I think it's just a try. It's worth trying.
Yeah, no, I agree, and thank you so much for your kind words, Paul. So I also want to let you know that I'm really proud of you, man. I'm proud of everything you've come, and how far you've come and everything you've done, and I really appreciate you for being so brave and vulnerable during all of our calls. And you really did the work, and you were relentless in your desire to get better and to improve, and I enjoyed working with you so much. So I'm very thankful that you trusted me, and I'm super excited for all this to come for you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Alex.
No way.
I've told you a couple of times, and record or not, like you changed literally my life. Like my life is not the same, and it would never have been. I would never have been at the stage of my life where I am without you. And the emotional security that I have on a day-to-day, feeling that you have been on my side, but that you're on the reach of a WhatsApp message, is immense. Like it's so good. It's crazy.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thanks, man.